Famicom Friday.
Famicom Friday.
最も過激な戦い、伝説の格闘ゲーム、デッド・オア・アライブ。
あなたに私を倒せない。
What's up, everybody? It's Kevin here from Happy Beard Games, and today is a Friday, a Famicom Friday. My series Famicom Friday, we check out a Japanese region import game each week on a Friday. Sometimes they're quick plays, sometimes they're reviews, sometimes they're pickups. There's always some translating and lots more. Now, I picked up Dead or Alive very recently from my work Super Smash Games in Olympia, Washington. This is the case right here. This is the back of the case. We'll have some close-ups of it for you and a little bit of the manual, a little bit of translating on the manual in case. I have not played this game before on the Sega Saturn. I have it on the Xbox. I've never played it on the PlayStation either. So this is based on the arcade classic Dead or Alive, which is pretty infamous now. But at the time, it was a really breakthrough fighter game with a nice combo system and 3D graphics. It was first ported to the Sega Saturn, and then later on, the next year, 1998, it was ported to the PlayStation 1. The main differences between this and the PlayStation release, as well as the arcade release, which came before it, the PlayStation release has Ayane as a character, and I think it has Bass as a character as well, which is Tina Armstrong's father. So it doesn't have those two characters in it, but the game actually runs on an engine closer to the original arcade, has graphics closer to the original arcades, and it's supposed to be smoother or more consistent or constant frame rate. I didn't see much online about regional differences, but I did see differences between the arcade, this one, and the later PlayStation 1 port. Of course, there's always the controller differences too, which this is very different than the PlayStation 1 controller. No thumbstick on this one. It might use the 3D controller where it has a thumbstick for the Saturn, but I don't have one currently. But this should be a pretty good controller for this game itself. Alright, let's get ready to jump into Dead or Alive on the Sega Saturn today on Hybrid Games' Famicom Fridays. So we've got the Sega Saturn logo popping up here. It will once again take me to the action replay menu after the Sega screen. Alright, Tecmo presents True Motion is a registered trademark of the Duck Corporation. Oh, nice. We got a little cutscene. This is going to be awesome, guys. I'm really interested to see how well the Sega Saturn handles this game's graphics. This is a game that's well known for having visuals that look really good. In addition to its awesome combat and counter system. This music's nice. This is cool. I don't think I've ever seen this cutscene. I don't know if it was on the Xbox version. It might have been. So I guess in addition to Dead or Alive, there isn't too many 3D fighters on the Sega Saturn. There's Fighting Vipers, which we have yet to cover. There's Fighters Megamix, which I think we played, Fighters Megamix. There's Virtua Fighter, which I don't know if we played Virtua Fighter, but I think I have that one. Maybe I don't have Virtua Fighter, but I definitely have Fighters Megamix and Fighting Vipers. And now we're moving on to Dead or Alive, which this game is a late release for the Sega Saturn, coming out in 1997 in Japan. So we've got, arcade, options, training, kumite, survival, and versus, and time attack. We'll find out what kumite is later in the video. But for now, I'm going to check options, and I'll be right into arcade. Leave everything here. Bouncing breast. Yep, we're in that kind of game. Even in Dead or Alive 1, I guess they have that as a feature. I knew they had that as like starting with Dead or Alive 2 because I played that since like the Sega Dreamcast. I will leave it on. Why not? Let's see how these graphics handle the bouncing breast of the Dead or Alive series that it's known for. Select to continue. I'm not sure what that is. I'll leave it off as default. Key config. Let's just see what kind of attacks we've got here. Oh, I can set up the combination buttons for attacks, but I'm not going to do that right now. So only Oh, we don't use the XYZ buttons. We only use the ABC. So punch is B, kick is C, hold is A. Remember, hold is A, which is similar to what I'm remembering on the Xbox versions that I've played later on. All right, we've got Kasumi, Zack, Ryu Hayabusa from Ninja Gaiden, Bayman, Lei Fang, Genfu, Tina Armstrong, and John Lee. I'm going to choose Tina because she's my go-to character in this series. She has brown hair on her default costume. I think she's blonde if you have like a alternate costume usually, but she's blonde in all the other games, so it's kind of weird they switched her to her second player costume. Oh my god. Why was there no like ready, fight? This is awesome. This is so cool. This is crazy. So if you've seen any of my other Sega Saturn videos, or if you're familiar with the Sega Saturn, a lot of the games that I've played on it are two-dimensional. Like, yeah, they'll have cutscenes, yeah, they'll have nice graphics, but they're usually two-dimensional or like anime-style graphics. This is like next-level Sega Saturn stuff, dude. This is really good graphics for the Saturn. I know it's a late release, 1997. Like the N64 was already out, I think, or around that year at least. But what I'm saying here is, oh, there's bombs on that part of the floor. Cool, that was awesome. These graphics are great. Like, this is really good. Like, I've played the other tournament fighter I played, I think, was Fighters Megamix, and the graphics weren't quite as good as this one from what I remember. Maybe I'm wrong, but they didn't seem like they were quite as good as that. And yeah, you'll see the Elgato logo there because it's just loading. But it is on the actual Sega Saturn that we're playing this on. Elgato's just the capture device. Ooh, this is getting harder. The music sounds nice too. Ooh. Oh no. I'm knocked out. Yatta. Okay, let's try this again. It is kind of hard to do like an A and C at the same time. So maybe I need to set up my buttons so that I'll have a button that does A and C at the same time. I'm trying to figure this out because I know there's like grab combos and stuff. Oh my gosh. I got my butt whooped. Don't worry, we're gonna continue for sure. But yeah, like, this game has really good graphics. Like, I'm just like surprised that this is like on the Saturn. I know it's supposed to be, you know, similar to the PlayStation 1, but for the most part, all the games that I've played on the Saturn are usually two-dimensional, aside from, like, once again, some of the tournament fighters that I mentioned before, as well as some racing games like Daytona USA, Sega Rally. I've got some other racing games recently too that I haven't played yet, like Hang On. Get back. There we go. Make use of the bomb floor. But yeah, like a lot of the 3D games that I've played, which isn't very many on the Saturn, but I've got a few more recently that I haven't got to yet. But yeah, there we got her. Yeah, so with that, like even like Daytona USA has really bad like draw distance. Not really bad, but like it's not like up to like what you'd expect. I don't know. It's like yeah, it runs on the Sega Saturn, but does it look as good as it could? It doesn't. Same with Sega Rally. It's got like this like draw distance. So it's not that. It makes it a little hard when you're racing and you can't really see exactly what's coming up all the time. It's not to the point where it gets in the way of the game. I'm not saying that the game's bad or like graphically bad. It's just limited. So I always thought that the Sega Saturn was more limited than the PlayStation for 3D graphics. And I may have said that incorrectly in the past. But this game looks great on the Sega Saturn. which is really cool to see this. That 3D games can run, and they can run smoothly, and they can look great on the Sega Saturn. Like, this looks freaking awesome. There's like lightning in the background, different layers. The only thing I wish it had, which it doesn't have, it does have the bomb floor if you get too far off, but it doesn't have like transitioning between two stages as far as I've seen, like, which is cool in the later games. Oh. Whoa. No! Oh, that was close. That was close. Yeah, I love fighting games. I've never really been like super good at them, but I always give it my best when I play these games. One of my favorites is probably, in the grand scheme of everything that I've played over the years, one of my most played fighting game series is probably Tekken. I know I've never played a Tekken game on Hybrid Games before, but Tekken is the one that I'm most familiar with, believe it or not. Soul Calibur is a close second, because that's very similar to Tekken, but with a guard button. And then Street Fighter is pretty simple too, and then Marvel vs. Capcom stuff. There's a lot of things that I do enjoy about fighting games, and there's a lot of fighting game series that I love, and I've played quite a bit of, but I never really talk about them too much on Hybrid Games. A little bit more on Famicom Fridays, I'll do like the fighting games. That's only because I have so many fighting games on the Sega Saturn. Like, I've got all the X-Men versus Street Fighter. I've got Street Fighter, is it Alpha? Or Zero, as it's called in Japan. Then there's Dead or Alive now. We got Fighting Vipers. We got Fighters Mega Mix, which is, I think, is a combination of Virtua Fighter and Fighting Vipers and maybe some other games. I've got the Marvel vs. Capcoms. I think that might be for Dreamcast though, but I've got those 1 and 2. I've got the Street Fighter versus X-Men. I've got X-Men Children of the Atom. I've got Golden Axe the Duel, which is a tournament fighter. And I feel like I have some other ones too. Oh, can I? Oh, that's what I'm trying to do, is trying to like grab them on the ground and then do a continuous combo with the grab there. Yeah, this is really cool. This is Dead or Alive on the Saturn. What more do you want? It runs well. It looks well. It's apparently, I was looking up some comparisons to, is this like, I was trying to find regional differences online, because sometimes you can find articles that really tell what's different between Japan and America or the rest of the world. But for this game, we're mainly just it doesn't seem like there's any difference. I don't know. I haven't played the North American one to know if there's any difference myself, but it doesn't even seem like there's any language barrier. There's a little bit of Japanese here and there, but for the most part, it's pick up and play. You don't really need. It's not even so much that it's pick up and play. It's mostly in English. Heck, even the game's CD case cover is mostly in English too. Not entirely, but has English on it, which we'll get to later in this video. This is cool. This looks really good. It also helps that I'm using an S-Video cable, so that looks really good on it too. If you've got a Sega Saturn, I think S-Video might be the best for like without modding it. So if you can get an S-Video cable, get one. And get one without the yellow composite cable attached. Those ones usually just feed the composite into that S-Video port. Get one that is like the one that I have, where it's just red and white composite for stereo, and then an S-Video cable by itself, which I got really lucky finding this cable at my work, Super Smash Games. It was just there in the back room, so I got it. I'd only tested this cable once, and that was at my work, and that was with Daytona USA on a CRT TV, and that looked really good. There we go, that was close. I'm wondering, I always liked it in fighting games, especially, I think one of the first Tekkens had it. If you pause, you could get to a list of combos built into the game, which is always nice. This game doesn't have that, I guess. That's what I was just checking for. You have to excuse me, I won't be talking too much more in this video because I kind of got a sore throat. You might be noticing that my voice sounds a little bit different. That's partially because of the new mic. It's also partially because my throat is sore. But yeah. I feel like I got a cough or something, or drink water or something like that. This is awesome. This is just it's cool to have a 3D tournament fighter game that runs well, looks great, and is a main series like Dead or Alive running on the Sega Saturn itself. So this is cool. Because here I'm thinking like, oh, it can only run 2D games, which, I mean, yeah, 2D games are great. But it's cool to see like this kind of, it's almost like you're going to the next generation in comparison. Wow, he's really tough. Oh, I almost got him when I turned around there, when he flicked me around. Second set. Ooh, come on, Genfu. There we go. Oh, we gotta get him one more time. This is cool. The Dead or Alive series kind of went off the rails in the later games in the series. I don't know if you guys have really kept up with the series as much as I have. I played most of them. I haven't played Dead or Alive 4, so it was only on the 360. But I played 5 and 6, and oh my god. No. Hit the bombs. We'll have to replay that. But yeah, like I was saying, like Dead or Alive 5 and 6, they're cool games. They really are, but they went kind of off the rails, and what I mean by that is they put way too much DLC on them, to the point where there's like over $1,000 worth of DLC for each of those, I believe, 5 and 6, and it's really sad. Excuse me. But yeah, it is really sad that like why they like abuse the DLC service so much on this game series. I get it because it's like it's costumes and stuff, and you got to get them for each of the characters and stuff, but it's ridiculous at the same time. It's like I kind of get like the idea of it, like, oh, maybe you don't have to buy all of them, but shouldn't you be able to buy a game and have everything included in it for like under $1,000? It shouldn't be that much money for like 1 year. That's more than the console itself by like 10 times. It's ridiculous. Okay. Ah, he did a headbutt. This ponytail's going nuts. Okay, here we go. Oh no. Gotta really focus on this one. Oh, that like took like all my concentration to get through that fight. That was like, I don't know if you saw that. That went on long. That was like a long round. That felt like that round was like 3 fights. Like I was trying like every counter that I could, every like different attack pattern that I could try, and I did it, but that was not easy. That was a tough fight. I know I got Kasumi here. This might be one of the last fighters. We're on round 8, so this is like the 8th fighter. I don't think there's any other fighters unless there's a boss. There might be a boss, actually. I don't know if I've ever really gone through this. I have this on the Xbox, but I didn't really play it as much as Dead or Alive 2, which I like that one a lot. Oh my god, that kick did a lot of damage. Oh, she hit me when I'm down too? Yeah, this one might take a little while. We gotta focus on this. This is gonna be harder than the last fight. A little combo there. Oh. If only I was I was like, if only I was Kasumi too, and then I could do this. But I'm actually a little bit better with Tina, I think. There we go. Okay, we're doing all right. We're doing all right. I feel like I can get this. I can do this. Music's nice too. CD quality music. Oh, a 5-hit combo. Oh my god. I do like though every like part of the combo adds up a number. Once you get to 2, and then it's just like 2, and it's like then it adds up to the 2-hit combo at the end. That's really cool. I need to get off this bomb. Oh, I can. The bomb really messed me up. I don't know if that's what it's called, but it's like it's the floor that explodes if you fall on it. There she goes. All right, continue. Let's do this. And look how fast it loads up the next round. This ain't no Super Nintendo or like, you know, like a Street Fighter Alpha 2 on the Super Nintendo where it like takes like a whole minute to load. Or not really, but it's close to that. It feels like it is when you're playing. You want these games to go by fast. This loads really fast in the Saturn. I don't know if it loads any faster on the PlayStation. I was kind of being cheap there, doing a lot of leg sweeps. But I don't know if it's faster or slower on the PlayStation or not, but I just, from what I was reading, it's more constant. So maybe. I also noticed I set the music up a little too high on the sound settings, so the music isn't always this loud compared to the sound effects, but I didn't think it was going to be this much of a difference between the two when I first started. Oh, come on. I wanted to, like, wrestle her down. One more hit, one more hit. There we go. Sweet. Okay, now we've got... That was either the final fight or there might be a boss. I don't think there's any other character. Oh, yeah, here we go. This must be the boss. Who's this guy? Is this the Tengu guy? No. I don't know who this is. Raidao. Raidao. This is gonna be hard. I'm really gotta focus on this, guys. I don't want to get too far into the bomb. Because, yeah, I can knock him down to the bomb, but if he counters that and knocks me into the bomb, then I'm just gonna explode too. Ooh. Oh my god, that did a lot of damage. And then he was able to stomp me afterwards, so yeah, that's... I lose. Oh, second set. I was like, I only fought once. Raidao. Is it Raidao or Raido? Oh, I was gonna slam him with my butt somehow. I don't know how I did that. Oh, there we go. That was a cool little attack where I jumped up and like sat on him. I don't think it did damage, but it should have. Okay, now we're at a tie. I can do that again. It was a B combo. It was definitely a B. Oh. This is what I gotta watch out for if he grabs me. And there's that foot stomp thing. Ooh. Oh yeah, the foot stomp. See it? That's what I was saying. He would get me with the foot stomp. Because when you're knocked down... What? Oh, it just has an extra intro. When you're knocked down, he can stomp you with his foot, and that's like... He's probably always going to do that, because it's like... Why would you not? I don't think I have anything like that, necessarily, for my character. Ooh, he flipped over me. Okay. I'm trying a little bit different things, but that didn't really help at all. Maybe I'll go back to like kind of where I was fighting before, because... Oh my god. Oh, he missed the stomp that time. That's not fair, he did it twice, and he missed the stomp both times, which I don't know what the heck that was about. That was kind of cheap how he did that though, right? Like, did his grab on me like a lot that round? Well... Let's try this again. This might be one of those things where, like, it takes me quite a while. This is the boss, I believe. There could be one more fighter, but I don't think there is. I think there might be a cheat code or an unlock where you can play as Raidao, from what I was reading online. This reminds me of when I fought Heihachi for the first time in the first Tekken, which you might think of Heihachi as like, oh yeah, he's strong, he's kind of a goof, but he's strong. But no, Heihachi in PlayStation 1, Tekken 1, arcade mode, he's tough. He really is. At least for me, that was like I could do Tekken 3, I could do Tekken Tag Tournament, but Tekken 1, that was hard. I don't know why, but it was, from what I remember, it being really hard. It's been a while since I played it because it's hard. When I did go through it, it was really challenging. It was one of the hardest fights I ever did. And I don't know what difficulty I was on either, but I remember I got like a blister on my thumb from the PlayStation controller, which luckily I don't think I'll get a blister on the Sega Saturn controller, but for whatever reason I got a bad blister when I was a kid too. It was like a long time ago. And my mom was like, what the heck happened to your thumb? And I was like, play a little too much PlayStation. No. Yes, oh, that was close. We had like a sliver of health. But we did it. I didn't expect to beat it that quickly. It is on easy mode. Or easy or very easy. This is the lowest mode setting for difficulty. Looks like that was the final fighter. Got a different load screen showing all the fighters in the game. And now we've got... Congratulations. Oh, this is cool. This is different. Happy Beard Game. That's a really interesting way to input your initials. Nice. Why did it make her fall over? Explode? Dead or alive? Well, that's really cool. That's cool they have that like unique way of inserting your initials for the arcade. I wonder if that was like that in the arcade version. It probably was. The Duck Corporation. And yeah, guys, that was Dead or Alive on the Sega Saturn. The Japanese region Sega Saturn. So for the rest of this video, we're going to take a look at the manual. We're going to do a little bit of translating of the manual and the case, which doesn't look like it really needs that much translating, because it says Dead or Alive in English on the side, Dead or Alive in Japanese on the other side. The back has some Japanese text. The front is almost entirely in English, so I'll just read it right now. And that is Dead or Alive, 3D combative sports, Dead or Alive. It has the recycle symbol next to it. I don't know why it has the recycling symbol next to it. It also says newest 3D real fighting game now on stage, Dead or Alive, which is your fate? See up to how you combat on Dead or Alive. That's like, that cracks me up. It's see up to how you combat on Dead or Alive. Alright. Oh, let's see what's inside the case. I don't have the side label for this one, but there's no text on the back of the manual. We'll take a look at the manual in just a few moments. But first, we're going to see, is there anything else on the game disc that I could check out, aside from playing as other characters? Ooh, extra config open. What? I unlocked something? Let's go to options. Extra config. Oh, there's a bunch of little things you can do. You can unlock more stuff. I can make the rings smaller or larger. That's cool. I'm going to leave them large. Do I save? Is there a save mode? But we unlock stuff, and there is more stuff to unlock as you go through arcade mode. I'm assuming you get the rest. There's also training mode, kumite, survival versus time attack. Time attack versus, which is 2-player. Time attack is just you're racing against the time with a clock on it, which I don't like, so I never really do that. Survival mode is you have 1 life bar, and you just fight as many guys as you can, so it's all self-explanatory, kind of like arcade, but just different. Kumite, I don't know what that is, so we'll check that out real quick before we end the video. I'm going to choose Kasumi for this one. Oh! So you have to, it's kind of like survival, but you have like 30 people, 50 people, or 100 people that you have to go through and kill, or defeat in Dead or Alive tournament. So there is no like story mode on this. There's just the closest thing would be arcade mode, I guess. Excuse me. Let's see if there's any differences with this. Oh my gosh. She's just bouncing on in, isn't she? Whoa. The difficulty is harder. Yeah, Kumite mode is like on like a set difficulty, I believe. Because he beat me in like 2 hits. Oh! Ow, my throat. Yeah, my throat is pretty sore right now, guys. But And talking on a video doesn't help, so we're probably going to end this pretty quick. But yeah, maybe it's not on harder. It just felt like it was hard the first time. It might be on a set difficulty, like where you can't actually change it to easy, but it's not too bad. But yeah, I'm assuming you have to go through like 30 different fighters or whatever the other one's settings were. Yeah, 30. Okay, well, let's end that. I do like that it shows a chibi, like, anime picture of whoever's pausing it, so you know who paused it. Alright, so now we're looking through the Dead or Alive instruction manual for the Sega Saturn. It's got some really nice visuals inside. I'll translate some of it, but it does look, just right off the bat, like a lot of this is like technical information, like what the controller does, like how to do attacks. It's pretty self-explanatory, and if you do a simple translation with the Google Translate app or on your camera or just in general, you could probably really figure this game out pretty quickly. It tells the rules. A lot of this is like the main focus of each category is in English, and then like the actual description of it will be in Japanese lettering. And some of this is like, this is level game configure, level life gauge, second player life gauge, set time, match point, quick select to continue, and so on. Got different things like the danger zone, which is where you explode if you hit the floor. And then you've got character bios for each of the characters in the game, which I'll show a couple of these. It details their combos and how to pull them off, which is really cool. That's something that I mentioned during the gameplay that I would have liked to see as a start menu feature. Like if you could pause it and select, see what their combos are in game, that would be awesome. But you can't, they're stuck in the manual, which is still nice. But what if you don't have the manual, and what if it's $9.97 and you can't go online at home, and you got to go to the library and print out your combo lists? But I guess that's what you got to do if you don't have the case back in the day. And it shows it for each of the characters aside from Raidao, the boss. And then you've got the credits, which is all in English, with Japanese names in English. And you've got the ending part. Cool. All right, everybody, that's it for Dead or Alive on today's Famicom Friday right here on Happy Beard Games. We checked out Dead or Alive, the awesome fighting game experience on the Japanese region Sega Saturn, and it's a lot of fun. Not only is it fun, it feels like the arcade game. I might want to bust out my arcade stick for Saturn in the near future when I'm not showing it on video and play this one again. But it seems like it runs well. It has nice controls, has great music. The visuals are amazing for the Sega Saturn, though it is a later release coming out in 1997. It still came out a year before, or roughly a year before the PlayStation version. This is really cool, and like if you're looking for a 3D tournament fighter on the Sega Saturn, this is probably one of the better ones to go for. It's the best one that I've played so far for 3D ones. Lots of cool stuff. There's stuff to unlock. There's different modes. All the modes that you need from a tournament fighter are there. All the characters that you know from the Dead or Alive series got their start here. And it's just a lot of fun. I highly recommend this one. I think I paid about $20 before my employee discount for getting this at my work, Super Smash Games. So it's roughly $20 used somewhere in this condition, complete in box. I don't know about the North American version at all, but if you have an action replay like I do on my Sega Saturn, you can play both regions on any region Sega Saturn. So like I have a Japanese Sega Saturn just because I like the way it looks, but I can play US games as well. I could also play vice versa if I had the other console. Leave a like, share with your friends, leave me a comment, and subscribe today for more classic gaming goodness right here on Happy Beard Games. Alright everybody, thanks for watching once again. Bye!